Welcome to our second webinar of the year focusing on Africa Tech Festival. Today we will showcase Informa Tech's offering in Africa, specifically for those companies looking to target the communication service provider market. In this webinar we will cover more on our mission, key service provider trends in Africa from our analyst team at Omdia, and our range of business development products. There will also be the opportunity at the end to ask any questions to our team. Firstly, I wanted to introduce who we are. Informa Tech, part of the Informa Group, is a global leader in events, media, training and research for the technology community. We work across several key market segments, which include specialist divisions within AI and IoT, cybersecurity, enterprise IT and components and devices. Some of our key brands include Black Cat, Light Reading, London Tech Week, Channel Partners, Founders Forum and the Game Developers Conference. Our mission as a business is to equip and inspire people to design, build and run a better, more inclusive, connected digital world. We do this by offering support and guidance at every juncture of business, addressing customer-specific needs in the technology market. Today, we will talk you through our market segment, Africa, specifically the service provider offering across the continent. To give some context to this, my colleagues Grant and Shrishti from Omdia will give an overview of key market trends for operators and vendors in the region. Over to you guys.
Thank you, James. I appreciate the introduction. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Shrishti Gasad and I am the Research Manager for the Middle East and Africa team at Omdia. I oversee creation of research deliverables and execution of consulting engagements in the region. I'm joined by my colleague Grant Watson, our Sales Director for Africa. First, we'll go through some of the key drivers behind activities in the African telecom sector. Major service providers across Africa recorded strong growth in revenue in 2020, despite the operational and economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic across the continent. During the pandemic, mobile broadband adoption and network traffic grew substantially, which is a clear signal of the need for service providers to have network expansion and modernization strategies in place to cope with the capacity challenges in the future. Network capacity enhancement will form a key part of African service providers' network strategies in the foreseeable future. 5G will feature strongly as an opportunity to deliver fast and reliable broadband connectivity in Africa. While deployment may have been delayed across several markets because of COVID-19, most service providers will look to accelerate their rollout plans once the COVID-19 situation, particularly the regional macroeconomics, normalize. In the fixed segment, DSL and WiMAX will be gradually phased out and replaced by fiber and fixed wireless access or FWA technologies such as fixed LTE and 5G. However, FWA is mostly considered a practical alternative for premium customers looking to enhance their broadband experience in the continent. Mobile fintech is becoming a must-have digital service offering for service providers, proving a platform to generate revenue as well as monetize other digital services in the operation. As such, telcos will continually expand their mobile money solutions and platforms to meet the demands of consumers and add new revenue streams to their operations. As a result of the conducive factors, some of the outcomes as observed by Omdia are as follows. COVID-19 accelerated the growth adoption of mobile broadband in the Middle East and Africa, putting it almost 3 years ahead in terms of adoption of technologies and services. This is based on our forecasts, which in turn are built on historical data as reported by operators as a part of their quarterly financial and operational reports, or collated as market intelligence from individual countries based on regulator data and market expert views. Most major telco groups have reported growth in total revenues in 2020, mostly attributed to increased usage of mobile data, financial and digital services. MTN's service revenue grew by 11.9% year-on-year for 2020, with 31% growth in data revenue and 24% growth in fintech revenue. Airtel Africa recorded a 17% year-on-year growth in 4Q20. AfricaCom Group's revenue increased by 6% year-on-year, while Maroc Telecom's group revenue grew 1% year-on-year in 4Q20. Due to the surge in network traffic and the growth in revenue, Omdia expects African operators to invest significantly in network expansion and modernization in the near future. Omdia also expects data traffic to continue to grow as operators continue to launch new services and improve quality of services. However, mobile voice remains an important segment for telcos on the continent, especially in the rural areas. Omdia forecasts that mobile voice will continue to be the largest contributor to the operator's mobile service revenue through 2024, and mobile non-SMS data will emerge as the dominant contributor only in 2025. In Africa, where 2G networks still carry a significant share of subscriptions, the need for connectivity during the pandemic brought about growth in mobile broadband subscriptions. An example is Egypt, where mobile internet users grew from 43 million in November 2019 to 51 million in November 2020 out of the 95 million total mobile subscriptions, a growth of 19% year-on-year. Adoption of digital services such as instant messaging, OTT services, and fintech also increased. While speaking of new revenue streams, mobile money subscriptions have seen tremendous growth as regulators waived fees during the pandemic to facilitate adoption. As an example, Airtel Africa saw a 29% year-on-year growth in 4Q20, while MTN reported a 32% year-on-year growth in 3Q20 in its mobile money customer base. Vodacom's M-Pesa customer base increased by 8% year-on-year to 16 million. This is excluding Safaricom's customer base, which grew 13% to 27 million in 4Q20. Several of these operators have announced plans on expanding the portfolio of services enabled by their mobile money platforms through partnerships, increased functionality, and expanded reach. Some of the other observations include regulators and governments becoming more active for COVID-19 crisis management and taking on several initiatives such as providing short-term frequencies or accelerating licensing for the deployment of new technologies or waivers on fees that led to increase in adoption. The need for connectivity during the pandemic has seen increased demand for fixed broadband services. While in some instances, fiber deployment was impacted by restricted mobility during lockdown, in such cases, Omdia has seen the emergence of fixed wireless access. Our key messages for this presentation are African operators have seen a positive impact of COVID-19 on top line. This is mainly on the back of growth in mobile broadband adoption, as well as increase in subscriptions for digital services. In terms of digital services, Omdia sees a particular growth in mobile money services. Although in a few cases, transaction revenues dropped due to government initiatives, the discounts and waivers and the need for the service saw increased adoption. Across the region, spectrum licensing and deployment of new technologies was accelerated. Omdia also recorded an increase in fixed wireless access adoption in areas underserved by fiber. Safaricom launched 5G in March 2021 with FWA services. Many operators in the region have positioned 5G FWA as air fiber. Last but not the least, Omdia has observed mobile operators in the region expediting plans for 2G or 3G network sunsets to maximize efficiencies. I will now touch upon a summary of our key recommendations for both service providers and vendors here. Telcos need to recognize mobile and fixed broadband data as cash cows. Future networks should be planned for increased coverage as well as agility and economic viability through the use of new technologies that allow for hardware or software disaggregation and open interfaces. Omdia recommends vendors to educate service providers so that they are future ready. This could include discussions on how to achieve operational efficiencies as well as potential new revenue streams enabled by new technologies. Service providers will need to continually scale their mobile money solutions and networks to meet the demand of the subscribers. This will need building their own R&D expertise or working very closely with vendors. Technology vendors should preempt the financial situation of the operators and, if possible, through collaborations, provide out-of-the-box solutions to service providers like fintech platforms or AI for enterprises. This will help to make network expansion economically justifiable through monetization of data. Service providers should take advantage of the support offered by the regulators or governments to highlight any issues with the current spectrum allocation or need for increased spectrum to meet the demand of the public or government organizations or businesses. Vendors will need to take a consultative approach towards regulators and governments for deployment in geographic areas that may not be economically viable to the telcos. Service providers should consider FWA as a solution to keep customers on their networks till fiber networks are deployed or where fiber deployment is not viable. Vendors need to offer FWA as an end-to-end solution for superior network performance and customer experience. In terms of overall marketing positioning, there is little difference between 4G and 5G FWA, with operators only using speeds as differentiation between the two services. Hence, vendors can offer the solution even to those operators who may not yet have plans for 5G. This is mainly due to speed to market and an opportunity to monetize existing network assets. Service providers should work with regulators to develop a detailed countrywide roadmap for the discontinuation of 2G or 3G services. This should help minimize risk of increased churn for the OpCo switching off, as well as a clear communication to the public. As service providers plan shutdown of legacy networks, vendors will need to be aware of the contractual agreements that may be impacted due to such plans. Vendors should start discussions early on to plan transition issues in case of transitions such as 2G or 3G shutdowns. With this, I hand over to Grant, who will provide a brief introduction to Omdia's service areas and structure. Thank you.
Many thanks, Shrishti, and good day to our guests. Omdia unifies and harnesses the depth and breadth of expertise from Informa Tech's legacy research brands, Ovum, IHS Market Technology, Tractica, and Heavy Reading. We will bring you unparalleled world-class research and consultancy to navigate the now and create the future. Omdia's service provider and communications research organization is the world's largest analyst team focused on the service provider audience and the vendors which support it. Our detailed proprietary data and insights are brought to life by a seasoned and senior team of analysts with decades of industry experience. Together, we will identify new opportunities and guide service providers and vendors towards them. Our actionable advice enables our clients to better transform their own networks and operations, counter competitive risk, develop ecosystem strategies, and to build, sell, and support innovative services for consumers and businesses. Omdia's service provider and communications research team is focusing on 5 key themes for 2021. Make more money. This team focuses on growth opportunities and monetization, helping our clients, our CSP clients, understand where the growth opportunities will come from in 2021, and understanding what role they will play beyond connectivity. These are fundamental questions which underlie all our services. Our second theme focuses on product innovation to help our clients build compelling, agile digital products and services. We are identifying and analyzing usage patterns and priorities, both B2B and B2C. We're also tracking and measuring 5G across areas including consumer applications, network access, digital business applications, and mobile workspace. Modernizing your network. Architecture change promises to deliver flexibility at lower cost and scale. This is a key theme that our service provider networks team will be focusing on in 2021. Run smart. Agility and automation are drivers of innovation. We'll be looking at how network slicing, network data management, analytics, security, and edge applications impact provider operations and enable onward creation of new digital services. Facilitate an ecosystem. This team focuses on partnerships. We will compare and contrast partnership models and monitor points of intersection between the two worlds, especially as CSPs and equipment vendors are increasingly moving into each other's businesses. Thank you for your time. Back to you, James.
Thank you, Srushti and Grant, for that fascinating insight. It's clear to see from that overview that the opportunity across Africa within the CSP market is now bigger than ever. Now we come on to how we connect and engage you with our service provider community. AfricaCom, one of the anchor events of Africa Tech Festival, is a meeting place of Africa's largest community of connectivity champions and the largest tech event on the continent. For 24 years, we've informed and connected the business leaders, tech experts, policymakers, and investors at the forefront of Africa's digital transformation. From this, we've built a fully engaged community and a gateway to do business across the continent. AfricaCom's focus on connectivity and digital infrastructure gives you a unique opportunity to connect with Africa's leading CSPs. From all major MTN, Airtel and Orange subsidiaries to growth markets with Ethio Telecom or ISPs such as Vox or Symbinet, who have been connecting populations in Africa throughout the pandemic. Today, we can also announce our key themes that will underpin the content during AfricaCom this year. They cover topics such as connecting the next billion, which would include discussions on connectivity in rural areas, sustainable and affordable connectivity, network models, and Africa's journey from 2 to 5G. The telcos of tomorrow will look at innovation, strategy, disruptive tech, data and security in telcos that now have an ever-growing subscriber base. And finally, a new topic on green ICT and sustainable development, delving into the role of affordable, reliable, and clean energy within this sector. Within our market area, we also offer a series of established, regionally focused events covering East, West, and new to 2021, North Africa. Each event explores key issues and trends relating to service provider evolution in the specific regional contexts. They present a unique opportunity to connect and build relationships with leading operators from each region, such as AfricaCom and Airtel in East Africa, to Sonatel and MTN in West Africa, and Telecom Egypt and Ooredoo in the north. Now we move on to Connecting Africa, which is our dedicated news platform that supports the event series and is the premier online community dedicated to empowering Africa's digital connectivity champions. It offers a comprehensive, informed, yet nuanced understanding of the region's communication, networking, and ICT sector, which highlights the commercial opportunities such insight can offer. Key developments are tracked and analysed on topics such as digital and financial inclusion, 4 and 5G, rural connectivity, and cloud and cybersecurity. All of this content is covered full-time by our dedicated in-region editorial team, who are supported by contributions from editors at Light Reading, as well as analysts such as Heavy Reading and Omdia. So what can it offer us apart from news? We offer a range of solutions based on your business objectives. The platform can generate new valuable leads, can maximise your brand's profile, and position your company as an industry thought leader. We do this by reaching our engaged digital audience all year round through our extensive communication channels and social media platforms. In 2021, we've launched several new products to help support our clients during these challenging times. The first of these is the Connected Leaders Hosted Buyer Programme, taking place in Q2 and Q3 this year. It is dedicated to identifying CSPs and IT buyers with real purchasing power and connecting them with solution providers through targeted virtual one-to-one meetings. So how does it work? As part of the programme, you will work with our VIP team to explore your objectives and highlight those key decision makers most important to your business. Once established, we will research and consult with those individuals with a full brief on the aims and objectives of the meeting to make sure they're fully qualified on both sides. From there, we will curate your meeting schedule directly with those targets in mind to ensure the right people are on either side of the table. Next is our new training offering. Informa Tech for several years has run a very successful training business, Telecoms and Tech Academy, which has trained over 30,000 professionals from leading organisations such as Etisalat, Cisco, Google, Intel, MTN and MultiChoice. From this year, we will now offer bespoke training services in the region under our new brand, Africa Tech Academy. Africa Tech Academy offers engaging, innovative and flexible learning solutions to CSPs and vendors across the continent. Each programme delivers the knowledge and skills needed to develop key competencies in specific subject areas such as 5G network planning, design and optimisation, accelerating digital transformation in telcos and telco commercialisation, as well as management, innovation and strategy. Africa Tech Academy offers a range of flexible delivery formats to support all clients during the pandemic. These include live instructor-led virtual classrooms, university-validated distance learning programs, and as previously mentioned, bespoke training programs where we work closely with your team to establish your unique business needs and key learning outcomes. Across our business, we have numerous case studies of how we've helped our clients generate leads, host bespoke events, create and promote content, and build thought leadership campaigns. This final slide highlights some of our returns we have delivered in partnership with Ericsson, Amazon Web Services, Huawei and Microsoft, leveraging all areas of our business to create a tangible return on investments for our clients. I hope this presentation provides some insight in how we can potentially work together across Africa. I would now like to invite any questions from the audience to our panel.
Thank you, James, Grant and Shushti. Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Cothell. I'm the event director for Africa Tech Festival, and I'm going to be hosting the Q&A portion of this webinar. So firstly, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, could you please pop them in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen and I'll direct them to each of our panelists. While I give you a moment to have a think and submit those questions, thank you for those of you who had some connectivity challenges. Thanks for bearing with us. Just to reassure you, we will be sharing this webinar with everybody afterwards, so you'll be able to see the slides at full quality. And of course, when we do run our virtual events and digital products, we use formal virtual event platforms, so you wouldn't see this kind of challenge with the digital products that we have. Okay, I'm going to open the questions here. First one, I think I will direct to you, Grant, if that's okay. And that is, does Omdia offer consultancy services?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. So yes, we do. So we have a consulting division to assist our clients with their customized projects. So, our bespoke projects range from identifying and sizing growth opportunities to assisting with go-to-market strategies, product developments, and positioning services to deliver growth for our clients. So we've delivered several successful projects in this region with service providers and regulators. So yes, it's definitely something we can assist with.
Thanks, Grant. And similarly, I think, Shrishti, I'll pass this question on to you. It is, where does your data come from? What sources do you use?
Thanks. As mentioned earlier, we analyze the financial and operational reports that are published by operators and regulators in each of the individual countries. We also have analysts that are physically based in the region, and they provide us with valuable market intelligence where published data may not be available. So our forecasts, which look at a 5-year view, they are based on these historical data points that are very reliable because they're published by operators or regulators. And we use that to build a 5-year view based on the trends in the industry, as well as things like macroeconomic and political situation. Thanks.
Thank you. Just a reminder before I go on to the next question, if you have any, the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, you can pop any questions in there. This one, I think I'll direct James to you as it's more on the event side. Do you offer opportunities to target specific countries or regions that aren't covered by our events, for example, DRC or Ethiopia?
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, that's a really good question. Something that we're getting a lot at the moment from clients and other people we work with. So we kind of do that in 2 ways. And the short answer is yes, we've got lots of ways we can do that. As I mentioned, we're seeing lots of requests for bespoke events, bespoke webinars where we target not only specific regions, but specific technologies. So we've kind of got a full service where we can do that in terms of building agendas, running the event for you, putting together an end-to-end marketing campaign to recruit audiences in those regions, as well as, we do a lot of work with Srishti and Grant's team, building the content and having analysts chair and help shape the agenda on these events. So we could do it that way. And again, we're seeing more and more requests on that, and you'll see some of these events popping up over the next few months on certain regions. And then we can also do that through digital marketing campaigns. So if you're looking for lead generation or you're looking for thought leadership in targeting North Africa or Central Africa, that we've been running events in this region for 24 years now. So in terms of the community and the data we have, we've got a huge reach. So we can help anyone connect to certain regions or, again, certain technologies through virtual events, but also digital marketing. So if you've got content, white papers, ebooks that are relevant to certain markets, we can help get those and that message to market very easily.
Thank you, James. This is more of a comment than a question from Paul. Thanks for that, Paul. Good to see you. Yes, we do. We put a huge amount of effort into confirming excellent panelists and chairs across all of our events. So if you check out our event websites, you'll be able to have a look at them in a bit more detail and see who you can expect to hear from throughout the year. We have another one here. James, I think I'll go back to you on this question. This is on the training side. Do you offer courses on different technologies such as SDN, LTE or AI?
Yeah, so we do. We've got a huge bank of courses that we run on various different technologies, which are tailored to each region. So lots of courses covering various value-added services, customer experience management, billing, all the way through to, again, SDN NFV is a big area. AI, IoT, 3G, LTE implementation, but also the, I guess, more business related elements of those technologies. I think in the slides I referenced 5G. So we have a lot of course content around the business of 5G, but also the rollout and offering organizations the opportunity to help develop that with them. But I guess, again, reverting back to the slides, a lot of the course content we build is bespoke. So if you do have a specific training need that may not be off the shelf, our network of trainers across the region can help build a course specifically for your organization based on learning outcomes or a particular need by a business group. So yeah, we can definitely help with specific technology areas.
Thank you. Okay, I have another one here, which is about the theme of bridging the digital divide, or what we quite often call connecting the next billion. And I think it's in reference to our events. So James, I'll direct this to you. And it is, if I wanted to be involved with conference tracks just linked to this topic, can I partner with you on specific tracks, so specific parts of events that look at bridging Africa's digital divide?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess one of the things with AfricaCom and Africa Tech Festival, it covers a real range of topics, and I mentioned some of them previously, but also we do have the enterprise element of Africa Tech Festival. So companies that are looking at specific topics or specific themes, we can definitely partner with you on those areas to help amplify a brand message or a thought leadership message. And it's not only events that we do that with through our Connecting Africa site. We can help amplify those messages around particular themes. Like if you're looking to establish yourself as the market leader in 5G or fintech, we can help you do that. So yeah, anyone that's looking to do that, then obviously our details are on the slide, so feel free to reach out after this and we can continue that discussion.
Thank you. I have a question here from Daniel, which is about the Africa Tech Academy website. So we'll share some more information with you on that, Daniel. And you asked if we're hiring. Yeah, I think we're always on the lookout for good people, and we're constantly expanding our network of trainers who we work with. So absolutely, we'll share contact information so you can get in touch with us about that. Have another question here, and I think just at this point, to let everybody know, I think we'll call it 5 more minutes to go. So if you have questions, please drop them in now. Of course, if you don't want to ask a question live, you're very welcome to reach out to us after the event. So I'll start taking the final few. Okay, so this is good. So this is somebody who joined our Connecting the Next Billion Digital Symposium last week and has asked, can I be part of the next one? So I'll direct that to you as well, James.
Yeah, so definitely. So we're actually building the content for our next symposium, which will be on digital infrastructure investment. So within that will cover topics such as data centers and cloud, 5G, and there will be some parts around satellite, submarine cabling as well. That will run in June, mid-June. And yeah, at the minute, as I said, we're building content, we're recruiting speakers. So we welcome any input, any suggestions on topics, any suggested speakers, or anyone that wants to use the symposium as a platform to promote their business, or again, as a thought leadership platform. So feel free to reach out to us directly afterwards, and we're happy to have those follow up with those discussions.
Okay, thank you, James. This question, I guess I'll put to you, James, and then to you, Grant. And it's just quite simply, what partners do you work with most? So who are we typically working with when we partner across our events and our research?
Yeah, so our partners are really broad, and of course we work with a lot of businesses within Africa, but also international businesses that are looking to do more business in Africa and bring their products and services to the region. So a lot of our key customers and partners are brands such as Ericsson, Nokia, Huawei, big international holistic vendors, but also, you know, partners such as Liquid, a lot of satellite companies we work with who have a huge presence in the region. But we also have really well-established relationships with Vodacom, MTN, AfricaCom, who work with us across all of our events. So again, very broad, and we also are now starting to work a lot more with technology companies such as Microsoft, Oracle as well. So yeah, quite a range, and I'll let Grant come on to the Omdia side.
Yeah, I think that covers it quite well. And I think just to add to that, I think we also, from our side anyway, we also support a lot of the regulators as well within the region as well as globally. But yeah, we partner with most of the large mobile network operators throughout Africa. Also the vendors which support those operators as well. So yeah, it's our partners are really broad.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Grant. I think we're going to take one more question. Firstly, I can see from Bernard, we have a question about the future of 5G and what that might mean for fiber. I think because that's quite specific, we'll pick that one up directly with you, Bernard. And then the final question we'll take publicly. We have Frederick has said that he runs a tech hub and a business incubator on a university campus. Can we partnership? And if so, how? Absolutely. I think, as you will have heard and seen from the slides, our community is very diverse. We work with many different types of ecosystem player, and we're always keen to work with new people. So we'll reach out to you after this session to talk about how we can do that, and hopefully, yeah, we can work together this year. On that note, I think I'll wrap up the Q&A for now, and I'll say thank you to our speakers and panelists for taking the time to join. Thank you to you all for joining us. Again, for now, it's virtual still. Hopefully before too long, we'll be meeting face to face again. So thank you for your time. You'll be shared the slides, so you'll be able to look at everything in a bit more detail. I appreciate some of Shrishti's slides had a bit more information that you may want to revisit. And if you need anything from us, our contact information will be included. Thank you again. Enjoy your days and goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.